Hey up, folks. More and more British people are saying that they've really had enough of this country and they're going to take their skills abroad. They're going to apply for contracts to work in the Gulf, West Africa, or Latin America. Good luck to them. If you're one of them, and you think that the sun it shines brighter in Latin America, which admittedly it does, and you want to join those people, then I've got three bits of advice for you. Advice that may just save your skin. And I'm speaking as somebody who's lived very many years in quite a few third world places. Now, the first bit of advice is an adage, one that pretty much all the expats know. It runs like this: when the Jews leave, it's time for you to leave. When the Indians leave, it's too late to go anywhere. What that means really is that Jewish expats tend to have a finely and attuned antenna to the political situation in whichever country they happen to be working. Make Jewish friends. When they are packing their bags and getting ready to go, you make sure you go as well. The alternative, of course, is to do as historically the Indians did. Now, you don't get many Indians in Latin America, well, at least not from India as opposed to the American Indians. But you do get Chinese, and the Chinese basically in countries like Mexico do as the Indians and Pakistanis do in Africa. Um, they're the traders, they're the middlemen, and they're pretty much hated by everybody. During the Mexican Revolution, when a town was captured by whichever faction took it, the American mercantile people were either left alone or allowed to leave. Uh, that was not the case for the Chinese, who were routinely shot out of hand. Don't be like the Chinese were in the second decade of the 20th century, and as they will be again, I'm sure, come the next Mexican Revolution. Behave like the Jews. When they decide it's time to leave, you go with them. Now, the second bit of advice, again, something that most expats will be aware of, is that you should always, but always live in the capital city. Yes, I know it's a nice town in the provinces and it looks like a wonderful place to live a few years. Trust me, when things go bad, nobody is going to defend you in that town. But in the capital city, they will, long enough for you to get out. No, they're not really defending you. It's that you get the benefits of the fact that the local native elite virtually all live in the capital city. The political elites certainly do. So do the diplomats, and so do the heads of international companies. Now, all of them want to save their arses, so the airport will stay open. And if the airport is going to stay open, that means that the city, the capital city, has to be in government hands until the last plane has left. Take Mexico City as an example. On the far outskirts of the city, there are army barracks, which more or less surround the whole of Mexico City. Move further in to where the metro runs, and you will find Presidential Guard barracks. The Presidential Guard and the Army have a completely separate command and control structure. So if somebody is planning a coup, you can't just rely on the army. You've got to suborn the Presidential Guard as well. Much more difficult. Further in, and you have what's called the Estado Mayor, which is basically the president's Praetorian Guard. It's answerable directly to him. So think of three concentric circles of armed men in uniform who are defending the city when things go pear-shaped. Add to that naval marine troops, also based in Mexico City. A couple of divisions of troops who are answerable to the Interior Ministry. It's complicated. I don't know how they would do if they were fighting a regular army, say the American army, but I do know that they were set up to defend the city, not against foreigners, but against other Mexicans. Now, what's true of Mexico is true of most third world countries. So stay in the capital city, and you've got a better chance of staying alive long enough to get on a flight out. Final point. Make sure your papers are up to date. Do not let your passport expire because you're not planning to go anywhere this year. Make damn sure that you've got at least a couple of years validity on the passport. When I lived abroad, I would change my passport every 5 or 6 years. British passports are good for 10 years. I would change mine every 5 or 6 years to be on the safe side. I waited till everything seemed nice and quiet and there wasn't a financial crisis or an election, and I would get my new passport. You should do the same. If you've got documents, you can travel. And of course, aside from documents, you've also got to have funds. Having all your money in a local bank is probably not a good idea, and having it in a British bank is even more cracked. Make sure you have a wad, a travelling wad of notes. Some local currency, some, if you're in Latin America, in United States dollars. Keep them in a bag along with 2 or 3 days' change of clothing. If the worst comes to the worst, you can grab the bag. It's got your passport, it's got your wad, it's got clothes, and you can make your way to the airport. Get on a flight going anywhere and get the fuck out. That is something that you need to remember. You're going to live in a volatile and dangerous part of the world. It doesn't matter whether it's Africa or Latin America, it's all the same. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are protected. And the only person who will protect you is yourself. So think on, folks.